You know, with the Vince McMahon documentary, WWE Smackdown and Raw, both on the USA Network, NXT making moves going on the CW Network, Triple H is doing wonderful things, Bad Blood is happening, Hell in a Cell, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes teaming up with Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief, Solo Sikoa trying to be the new tribal chief, and the new bloodline headliner, whatever he wants to fucking say. I figured that it's time to hop back on the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pardon the Pipe Bomb.
Now get the cards, the darts from my generation. I'll take I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. In anybody else's hands, this is a microphone. In my hands, it's a pipe bomb. I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on.
What is going on, everybody? I appreciate you guys tuning in for a random episode of Pardon the Pipe Bomb. I am your host, Flamio. As always, thank you for joining me here on the podcast. It's an exciting time to be a WWE fan. Like I said in the beginning, I'm recording this on September 27th, 2024. And it is right after the Smackdown show on the USA Network. It is no longer on Fox. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, sort of thing. But we had Smackdown tonight. Vince McMahon's Netflix special really got me thinking about everything. WWE is planning on having the Saturday night main event back up on NBC on Saturday nights. Well, obviously on Saturday nights. It's just... So, I was thinking, to myself, yet again, I'm not as afraid to tell people that I watch WWE. And thinking about me as a WWE fan, we're living in a great time right now. We don't even have to have live television to go watch Monday Night Raw. I mean, you still need live television, like a YouTube TV, DirecTV, although DirecTV, nobody really has it anymore. Fubo TV, any other streaming TVs out there. Yes, you need to go and have that to watch SmackDown. You need to go and have that to watch WWE NXT. You need to have that to watch AEW, TNA, all the rest of those things. But soon, we're going to only need to have Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw. I think that's just great. But tonight was SmackDown. Obviously, we got some other news out there that has been happening, that's been surfacing up on the internet. But before I get into WWE SmackDown tonight, I really don't want to go into a big review. I never really do. I mean, nobody wants to sit here and listen to a hour-long review, unless if I have a video, but I don't have a video thing fucking going on here. I just got my vocals. That's all that I'm fucking good for. But before I do, there are some relatively kind of big news that has been surfacing out there, and some of them is involving NXT and Shawn Michaels. WWE, they're planning on to holding upcoming double tapings for Raw and SmackDown. And obviously, the elephant in the room, the backlash of the Vince McMahon documentary. But before I get into any of that, I just want to say thank you so much for anyone who has been sticking around for this podcast. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of you. But first, this is kind of some big news. I don't know what this entails, but Shawn Michaels said that WWE NXT will have some changes for the CW network premiere. Now, from my understanding, I believe that CM Punk is going to be hosting or doing something on NXT. I believe he's a special guest referee for the NXT Championship with Ethan Page. I believe that's what his name is. I'm really not following NXT. I kind of follow it. I only followed it. Well, I started to only follow it when Joe Hendry was on there. But WWE NXT will travel to Allstate Arena in Chicago, and on Tuesday, October 1st, for the premiere of the episode on the CW network, before going to St. Louis on October 8th. And fans can expect some changes to the show when they tune in as NXT begins its new chapter. As previously reported on Russell Votes Radio, which I do got to check out that radio station with Russell Votes. That motherfucker knows what the fuck he's talking about. WWE will change the logo and presentation of NXT. And speaking with the Chicago Tribune, WWE Senior Vice President and Talent Development of Creative Shawn Michaels confirmed that changes are coming. He said, and I quote, "Certainly we want to make a big splash on the CW network. We'll have some big changes, but I think more of that will be from the look and physical standpoint. We will be what NXT is, which is bringing some of the most talented, young, diverse athletes in all of the nation and developing them into WWE superstars of tomorrow. The hunger, the passion, that's always been the core of NXT and is always going to be there. But certainly we'll try to put out on some pretty cool bells and whistles for the CW launch on October 1st. So WWE, they confirmed today that the NXT champion Roxanne Perez versus Julia will open on the show for October 1st's episode. I really hope that they don't change the NXT logo too drastically. I really do like black and gold. I hope that they keep the color scheme of that. I think it's very different. And with NXT, I think that when they went to NXT 2.0, it was all colorful and it was like a Nickelodeon type of show. And then they kind of reverted back to the black and gold once Vince McMahon was out of the picture. But they kept the same type of logo, so maybe there's going to be some changes. I don't know the restrictions on the CW. All that I know is that the CW always has like shows like Vampire Diaries, the one girl that was blind with a dog, and that was like a like a dramatic show. Legacy, that was a spinoff of fucking Vampire Diaries. So NXT being on the CW, I think, is a good thing. I don't think that they're going to be as strict as the USA Network. I feel like NXT can kind of bend the rules a little bit. I think this is a great thing all around because I know the CW wanted TNA, and right now TNA is involved with NXT. They're both collabing with each other. The two companies are, which is great for business. Great for both WWE and TNA. WWE has nothing to do with this. TNA has everything to gain. It's just all around a good thing to see. But speaking of the Vince McMahon documentary, I just want to give you my 2 cents on it. Yes, what Vince McMahon did was absolutely terrible. I mean, allegedly, but from the reports that have been out and everything that has been going on with the lawsuits and how he quickly just left the company and how quickly he's been selling his shares. I think that was from the owner of TKO. But just this documentary that we all saw on Netflix was the rise and fall of Vince McMahon. It shouldn't have been titled Mr. McMahon. It should have been titled The Rise and Fall of Vince McMahon. Because everybody on that documentary has the most respect for Vince McMahon, and rightfully so. Feel that what Vince McMahon did for the company that WWE is today is because of him, no doubt. But everything kind of comes back to bite you in the ass in life. Everything that he did to those WWE female superstars. Everything that he did to the employees for the company. How he was selling off employees to superstars because it was in the contract that was the only reason how that they would be able to come back, I guess, so to speak. But in my personal opinion, I don't really feel that the documentary for Vince McMahon was totally against him. I felt like at the beginning, like the three or four episodes of it was mostly about him, his life, how he came to business, how he really didn't know his parents all that well, or his father, and how his relationship with his mother was, his relationship with his father, then relationship with his children, i.e. Shane and Stephanie McMahon. I just feel that the whole documentary was supposed to be about his life. It's just, it was horrible timing because I remember when they started doing the Netflix documentary, I was working as a fucking transporter for a hospital. And I remember seeing the report in 2021 saying, holy shit, they're going to make a documentary about Vince McMahon. That's going to be very cool. Then a couple years go down, still nothing. And then get a report saying, hey, they're going to be close to debuting this fucking documentary. And then a bombshell went off, and then they had a pause on it. And then another year later, they put out a report saying it's not going to come out maybe possibly till 2025. And now we get it. And now we see at the very beginning, the very first episode of Mr. McMahon on Netflix, that these interviews were recorded before all of his allegations. And then on the very last episode, those allegations came out and then he stopped doing the interview. And just everything he was saying just makes it makes you wonder, maybe he really is just an evil dude. Or maybe times were different when you're growing up and maybe things are different because that you are handled when you're a child. I don't know. But he just sounds like a very, very, very fucked up individual. I greatly appreciate what he made WWE for what it is today. But other than that, I don't want to sound like a prick, but, you know, just like your father, you bought him out. Now, I'm not saying Triple H, Paul Levesque, he didn't buy you out, but he's next in line. And you said it yourself, Vince. When you bought your father's company, you knew it was time for a change. And you were that change. And you made WWE great. And you made WWE want people to want to watch wrestling. And you made it cool. And now times are changed. Which means for the business side of it, it's time for a change for the business. And you couldn't let that go. You were just like every other wrestler in that ring. You don't know when to hang it up. And he did not know when to hang it up. Unfortunately, he had to be forced out. And on Netflix, they asked him, do you ever see yourself retiring? And he said, well, if you retire, then what else is there left to do in your life? You might as well just die. I don't think he said those exact words, but, you know, when you watch it, it's basically what he's saying. And so when he said that, and now you see him report that, hey, at 77, it's time to retire. No, the company forced you out, and now the company is forcing you to sell all your shares. They don't want any part of you. And the business is doing better than it has since 2002, I believe. It's hotter than ever. It's hotter than the Attitude Era. It's thriving. And I, for one, I am all for the Paul Levesque era, the Renaissance era, whatever anyone is calling it. But I am for it. Anyways, let's get on to SmackDown. SmackDown was a, not a fantastic show, but it was a good show. And I got YouTube TV back because the NFL season is back. So I got that. And I'm not watching WWE shows illegally on my phone anymore. I can watch it on my big screen. And I have a big boy job now. I'm no longer a fucking bartender. Got a big boy job. Moving up in the world. But with WWE SmackDown, Solo Sikoa, he returns. You got the women's #1 contendership match with Bayley and Naomi, which I'm not going to lie to you, I can give really two shits about that. But with WWE SmackDown, they kick off the show with Randy Orton, and he comes out, and he's just loving being a heel. You can definitely tell that he loves being you can definitely tell that he loves being a babyface at this very moment. Randy Orton comes out, like I said, he's enjoying being a babyface. He's welcoming everyone to Friday Night SmackDown. And then he said Cody Rhodes is one of only people that he can trust, but is very confused about his decision with teaming up with Roman Reigns. He invited Cody out and had mostly an amicable conversation before Kevin Owens arrived, and before he could even speak, Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, they came out and they issued a challenge to Kevin Owens for a tag team match with him and Orton versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, but he didn't want to do a 6-man tag team match with Cody Rhodes. You can clearly see that they're building up, and they're kind of making it obvious that Kevin Owens is going to turn heel. Don't know when that'll happen, but this segment, it was almost about 20 minutes. It was a good start for Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not going to lie, it was subpar for me. I feel like that this kind of storyline has been going on for a very long time here, but Orton took a few extra moments to soak up like the crowd's like reaction. I thought that was pretty cool because Randy Orton definitely deserves it. The next segment, though, is the Bayley and Naomi match. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I went into the kitchen and I started cooking food. Started cleaning my dishes because I don't have a dishwasher. But hey, in a very short notice, I'm going to be moving and I'm going to have a dishwasher. And you have no idea, when you are older, you really fucking appreciate having a dishwasher. Anyways, Bayley and Naomi, they fought off. They both were going at it for each other. In the beginning, it was like, oh, okay, I can't hear you. You're my friend. Shut the fuck up. Just do the match. But besides that, I guess this was a solid match from what I'm reading. Between the two veterans, who know each other very well. Bayley won a clean with an elbow drop from the top rope. Aside from one sloppy moment, there wasn't much to complain about for this type of match. This wasn't a showstopper type of match, but the performance was good enough, and not showing Naomi's full entrance. They're really kind of knocking on Naomi, aren't they? What the fuck? They really didn't show her entrance? Jesus. Naomi is a hell of a performer too, man. She's a hell of a wrestler. It's really a shame that they don't really push her, but oh well, I guess. Next segment, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. This match I did watch, and holy shit, these two are having a great performance. This kind of reminds me of Sheamus and was it Cesaro? Yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro. They kept going back and forth, and it was like a best out of 7, and it went 3 apiece, and it went to Game 7, and I forget who wins, but I remember that, and them two became very close with each other. This was just as fast-paced and hard-hitting as their 5 previous matches. At this point, these two would need to make an effort to put on a bad match, but they fought through and through the 2 commercials, and they did the picture-in-picture thing with them, and these two are literally at their limit. And these two continually bring out the best in each other. But LA Knight, he came out and ended up causing a distraction that allowed Carmelo Hayes to do a roll-up on Andrade, which that was probably going to be the only way that this match was going to end. If there was not like a fuck-up finish, but somebody interfering and ending the match at that point. This is definitely worth going out of your way to see, though, guys. This type of match, this is wrestling. this type of match reminded me of like an AEW. I mean, I always harp on AEW, but they do put on very good matches. They're just a wrestling program who just enjoys pro wrestling. They don't enjoy the entertainment. They don't really go into it with the long-term booking sort of aspect of it, but they do enjoy a good wrestling match. So this match right here, I thought was a very good one. And the way that Carmelo Hayes sent LA Knight over like the ropes, you know that this is going to be ending up in some sort of triple threat match between them for when, I don't know, maybe Bad Blood. I don't really care. But I can't wait to see what these three guys are going to do inside the ring. Next segment, Michin and Piper Niven. I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm really not. Which leads to the main event. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. This was a solid match. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and Rhodes, they end up getting involved, and it led into Cody Rhodes accidentally costing Kevin Owens and Randy Orton the match. Owens, he was clearly upset and shoved Cody Rhodes, but then Randy Orton, he had to be playing the peacemaker, in which I thought was fucking hysterical, because Randy Orton being a peacemaker at this age, you kidding me? Playoffs? You kidding me? Randy Orton, me growing up, I guess Randy Orton will always be a heel. He'll always be a heel to me, even though that he is really loving and soaking up every single moment that he's going out there and performing. But just to me, he's always going to be a heel. No matter what, he's always going to be a heel. But eventually, Randy Orton was putting in some common sense into Kevin Owens, calming him down, and then at the end of the show, you saw Kevin Owens hug Cody Rhodes out, but they're planting the seeds of Kevin Owens possibly turning heel on Cody Rhodes. But JD from New York really made a good point. What if they're not? What if it's just too easy to see? What if they throw a huge fucking curveball and have Randy Orton turn on fucking Cody Rhodes? I mean, it would make sense. Cody Rhodes has nobody else in line for the championship. There's nobody else right now to face Cody Rhodes for the Universal WWE Heavyweight Champion. I mean, what? Are you going to have AJ Styles? Oh, yeah, guys, AJ Styles is coming back next week. Very excited to hear about that. But are you going to have Cody Rhodes face off AJ Styles again? No, we've already seen it. Are you going to have Cody Rhodes face off Kevin Owens as a heel? I can see, maybe, but Kevin Owens, I don't know what it is. I love Kevin Owens. I love that he is a great performer in the ring, great on the mic. Just something about him, it just doesn't scream, I want to keep rooting for this guy. I want to get behind him. I don't know. Maybe he's just content with what he has. I know he's a big family guy. Great show, by the way. He's 100% into his family. He loves that he can go and spend time with them. Maybe he's content with what he's doing right now. I know he's probably going to be a WWE lifer. But the only thing that I can think of right now, besides Roman Reigns, the only person that I can think of that can face Cody Rhodes right now is Randy Orton. A heel Randy Orton at that. You have a heel Randy Orton, which means you can bring back legacy when Cody Rhodes was coming up in the business. And that's what Randy Orton did. He created legacy with Ted DiBiase's son and Cody Rhodes. I just think that you can have match after match after match with this type of history. I mean, with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. But I would love to see a best out of 3 matches with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Heel Randy Orton. But WWE, they're getting really comfortable going 20 or more minutes between matches. And Fatu, though, Jacob, he's a perfect combination of the modern wrestler and old school type of wrestler. He just reminds me of Umaga, but a very fit version of Umaga. And Randy Orton, he looked great. For his age, looks fucking unreal right now. But I'll leave it off with this. Friday Night SmackDown was, the same thing, kind of like rinse and repeat. It wasn't a bad show, though. It was good. A couple stories that have been going on, and they're still continuing those stories, and you love to see it. And the match between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, it's in contention, in my personal opinion, for one of the best matches of the week. None of the matches this week were a letdown, but, 3 of the 4 were definitely your typical, TV bout type of matches that have been going on. There was one exception, like I said, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and that was a good one. But WWE has struck gold with these two men inside that ring. These two were the story of Friday Night SmackDown today and tonight. But I am going to love to see what they're going to be doing for the 7th bout between them two. And who knows, it's definitely going to have to be involved with LA Knight somehow. And I really hope that they have the United States Championship match being defended at Bad Blood. And one more thing before I go, I just saw this report out there. WWE is still debating on Bad Blood main event. Again, playoffs? You kidding me? Wait, but I mean, hold on. Are you being dead fucking serious right now? They're still debating on the Bad Blood main event. There's no question that it should be Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood pay-per-view, Bad Blood premium live event. It just makes sense. What, are you going to have fucking a tag team match be your final bout for the fucking premium live event? Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline 2.0. Now that's what I call Music 45. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck is that shit? No. This really fucking irks me. It's 1 week away, and you don't know what the main event is. It's no question that it's going to be fucking CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Hell in a Cell. Have the fucking match go 45 minutes. This is the final match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. This is the final chapter. Hell in a Cell. There's nothing left. And then after this, maybe CM Punk can go and fight Seth Rollins. I don't fucking care. But this is the final match of Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I'm going to repeat that over and over and over again. Yes, I haven't been on my podcast show in quite a long time, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is per Dave Meltzer on Wrestle Talk. The plan as of right now is for the tag team match featuring Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns taking on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu to headline the premium live event. The original plan was for CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match to be the main event. And there remain people on both sides of the discussion at the moment. There are definitely arguments for both matches to headline the show, but the Punk and McIntyre feud has been one of the best things in WWE all year. If this ends up being the blow-off match of their rivalry, it would be a perfectly fine choice for the main event spot. On the other hand, everything in WWE has been built around the Bloodline angle for 2 years running, plus this will be Roman Reigns' first match back since losing the undisputed WWE Universal title against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. The tag team match also figures to further the storyline build to a possible Reigns-Fatu match at WrestleMania 41. There is also the upcoming Survivor Series War Games event on November 2nd that could end up featuring the Bloodline Civil War, and with the rumors circulating around Jimmy Uso, he could be returning soon, and Who knows about The Rock? But if you have all that going on, not to mention Rhodes and Reigns teaming up for the first time in their memorable feud, it's hard not to argue that the tag bout is the most important match on the show. But me personally, I disagree. Yes, it is one of the bigger storylines right now in WWE. Like, there's a lot of storylines going on right now, and I love it. But the top three that stick out is Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, and the whole fucking bloodline thing. And the other one, surprisingly, is, I guess, I can't believe that I'm saying this, Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton. Or Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio with Liv Morgan. Or the tag team division with DIY and the Street Dude, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of good storylines out there right now that could headline. But none of them reach the point that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are at in their feud. Nobody. Yeah, bad blood, bloodline storyline, I get it. It fits the narrative of the fucking premium live event. But there's also bad blood between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Come on, WWE, it's not that hard. Have Drew McIntyre and CM Punk in the Hell in a Cell match for their final bout. And wash your hands from this. Move on from this storyline. I'm not sick of it, but everyone knows that this is the final bout of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But with that being said, I'm going to head out, guys, and thank you all very much for joining me here on another episode of Pardon the Pipe Bomb. If you guys liked what you heard, please give me a thumbs up or a negative 5-star review. If you guys also liked what you heard, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or even subscribe and follow on Google Podcasts, or I don't even think that they have Google Podcasts anymore. Jesus, I haven't been on here in such a fucking long time. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other podcast platform that is out there. But I guess Google Podcasts is now on YouTube. So like I said, hit that subscribe button on the channel. But in the meantime, I'm going to head out, guys. And again, I'll talk to you guys next time.